It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. I'm Bryce. And usually with me we got Jim, but Jim's playing hooky this week. What's going on with Jim? What's he doing, Murray? I don't understand.
Traveling the country, I don't know.
That's just bull crap. He should be sitting over here. He should be doing the podcast. This is garbage.
Family time, you know.
Family schmamly. Families come and go. Our podcast is forever,
That's
Mur.
right.
Anyways. Oh, also we have the Merman.
That's right.
And how's he doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah? Doing all right, getting good grades. Future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Yeah, something like that.
Excellent. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on. And since Jim's not here, I guess I got to do this next section as well. Thanks to all who have been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And if it played in a cinema anywhere in the world, we will watch it. Now, let's get to raging.
Feel free not to sing.
What would the amazing Merman predict? What would the amazing Merman predict? Will he predict a rage or will he predict a mondo? Will he know what Bryce and Jim thought of the movies last week? Blah, blah. I don't know the words to this. Something about...
Then feel free not to
Here
sing.
he comes swimming for you. Swim, Murray, swim, Murray, swim, Murray, swim. It's not good without the two-part harmony.
That's why I said feel free not to sing.
All right, go
let's
ahead.
Carry on. All right, there were 3 movies that Bryce saw. I just saw the one, and Jim actually saw the one and sent me his review, which I promised not to read.
Yeah, I think that's bull crap that he even gets an opinion this week. You're not going to show up and he still gets to spew his...
Apparently, toxic venom.
Yes, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm putting this right now. I think that this is wrong. He should have no say in anything this week. If you're not going to show up, screw you.
Sure. Okay, well, first up, of course, the big movie of the week, the Thunderbolts.
That was the big movie of the week?
Well, I'm guessing.
It wasn't Bonjour Tristesse?
No.
All right.
Yeah, it's a superhero movie, which usually you guys rage pretty hard about. But this one, I think, was different. I think because, it was definitely unique. And
was it unique?
I think it kind of was. Well, it was like the Suicide Squad, but it was better.
I thought it was kind of more like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That too, I guess.
I guess anywhere where you just throw a bunch of
misfits together and they gel into a team.
Yeah, that's basically
based on a girl.
That's basically my review. I don't even need to say it.
Based
anymore.
on a girls' soccer team.
Anyways, what did I think of it?
I think just because you don't like you don't like superhero movies.
Yes.
But I think this one is probably better than some. I think you might have met.
Yeah. Cool.
Jim, just because he loves Florence Pugh. Pew 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 pew, and it was a little different. I'm hoping he got to a mondo.
Wow, you think he might have mondoed this?
I think he may have.
Whoa.
Well, like I said, I did not read his review, which he sent, so we'll see.
I predict meh.
Holy Demon Night Hunters.
Yeah, baby.
Which is
little Korean horror.
It's a Korean horror.
Kind of Korean horror comedy.
Which I saw like a 30-second trailer for. I don't know, maybe there was a longer one out there, but.
And what did I think of that? I can't believe you didn't come to that, Murray.
I didn't know it was playing. I was looking all the movie theaters. That's the only other movie I could see. I couldn't even find that Bonjour one anywhere.
It was playing at the same cinema.
I didn't see it there. Anyway.
I literally got there. I went into the Korean horror and then bang right into Bonjour Tristesse.
Good old double feature.
And it was like bang bang. I was out of there in in like 3 hours. It was great.
Holy Night Demon it's Korean. It's a horror, even if it is a comedy.
Mm-hmm. It's more horror than comedy.
Based on a hunch, I think maybe you didn't get it to a mondo, so maybe meh.
Meh again. Interesting.
And then Bonjour Tristesse, which, to be honest, I watched the trailer, had no freaking idea what it was about. Had one person I knew that was in it, and it's apparently not a French movie.
It is not.
Even
Although
though
it
it's got a French
takes
title.
place on the
In
French
France.
coast.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. Yeah, what the hell, man.
Meh again. So much meh.
So much, man.
All right.
All right, well,
I don't even know who's starting here.
I will start. 'Cause
Go
it's
for
the
it.
one movie I actually saw,
Nice.
but I may borrow from, other websites to this. The Thunderbolts. For those of you who don't follow the MCU or
And
all
I
their
don't.
incessant TV shows
Yes.
that
Yes.
they
yes.
produced over the last few years.
I think I saw most of the stuff that has to do with this.
We have our cast of characters: Florence Pugh, who plays
Pew, pew.
the sister of Black Widow,
Pew,
Natasha
pew.
Romanoff, who of course died in Avengers.
Yeah.
So Pew Pew
She died.
she's still pissed off. Apparently, she tracked down Hawkeye and tried to kill him. I never saw the show, but
Yeah, it was good.
so now she's depressed.
I liked it.
Now she's depressed
Yeah,
because
well.
she has no reason to live. Apparently,
No,
she's
it's
jumping off 10,000 feet buildings just on a whim. Then we got.
I wouldn't say she's suicidal, Murray.
Well, she did seem like she kind of was. Then Sebastian Stan, of
definitely
course,
bummed.
who was Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier,
He is Bucky
the
Barnes.
former
Winter
best
Soldier.
friend of
Senator-
Captain America,
Senator Bucky
the
Barnes.
original, who I guess eventually got old and died.
Yep.
Then we got Julie Louis-Dreyfus, who plays basically the bad guy in this, who I can't freaking stand. And
She
it was-
bad or she just
it was-
misunderstood?
It was pure torture to watch her act, put it that way, because I can't stand her.
Wow.
And of course, David Harbour, my favorite, who was the Red Guardian.
He was the Red Guardian.
Oh,
He had some good lines, Merman.
She called it Old Santa, which he was Santa,
That's true.
and he kicked ass.
He did
as
indeed.
Santa.
Yes.
And
that was also an entertaining
Kurt
movie.
Russell's kid plays the fake Captain America, who,
Mm.
basically took Captain America's shield and proceeded to kill somebody with it. So
Yeah.
that wasn't too good. Then you got the bad guy from
Totally forgivable.
bad guy from one of the Ant-Man movies, one of the forgettable ones.
Oh, really? I didn't even know who anybody
Yeah,
else was.
the ghost was from the second Ant-Man.
Well, yeah, I didn't even remember
Yeah.
that.
And then
So is she misunderstood too? Why is she...
I think so. I think she blamed
she-
what's his name, the original Ant-Man,
Okay, so-
Hank Pym for her
Right,
father,
right.
father's issues. or
Right.
something.
Okay. So she was kind of just trying to get revenge, and maybe things got
Yeah.
out of hand, and,
And now
maybe she's a little misunderstood.
And now she has it under control.
Got it.
And then finally we have Lewis Pullman, who plays Bob
yes.
again. He plays Bob again.
Bob again.
He played Bob in Top Gun Maverick. That was his name, Bob.
Oh.
He didn't have a call sign. He just played Bob.
Oh,
But
interesting.
anyway, I love Lewis Pullman. He is freaking awesome.
Isn't it? It was so odd that he was totally in all the trailers, like for
Yeah.
about a week.
Yeah.
And then they yanked all those trailers, and then he wasn't in anything.
Yeah. Well, people who've seen the movie will realize he doesn't. Like, he has like a couple of scenes, but he doesn't do much till the end, and for a reason. Then he's like, well, to go off on a tangent here, there's this. What was it called? The Eternals or one of those crap Immortals?
Oh, that movie was so good.
No, one of those crap.
Yeah, the Eternals,
no,
wasn't it?
No, it was a crappy TV show.
Oh, okay.
But there was this guy called the Black Bolt who basically was in charge of like all the superheroes.
Okay.
And his power was when he opens his mouth,
This is a tangent.
basically destroys people.
Wow.
But because of that, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't talk. He
can't.
He just sits there.
Well, he's
But
not going
he's
to
their
destroy
leader.
everyone.
But he has no other powers than that. Like that's kind of what.
Does he like write stuff down and give them notes?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what Sentry was.
Or does he like
I don't
mind
know what
meld
he,
with
I don't know
them?
what he does. He has a
All right.
woman with long hair. I don't know, but it was a stupid show. But yeah, that's the same thing. It's like basically Lewis Pullman's character is so powerful.
Yeah.
You only see him the once, and at the end, basically he refuses to use his powers anymore. So what the hell is he good for? He does the dishes, I think, is what they said.
They did. I have a feeling that maybe in the future those powers might come to
They
fruition
may come into
again.
play.
Yes.
Anyway, Thunderbolts, basically all these misfits who all work for Julie Louis-Dreyfus's character in secret. They didn't know about each other.
No.
And she decides that she is trying to clean house because she was under indictment and impeached or whatever the hell it is. And she decides to wipe them all out. But they think otherwise.
It's just an impeachment hearing.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever. But she's pretty much dead to rights.
All right.
Anyway, so that's the basic of the movie. And I didn't really write a review because I know what I thought about it.
Okay, well, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was freaking awesome.
Oh, wow.
It's probably...
Is it because Julia Louis-Dreyfus was so good in it?
In spite of her.
What?
In spite of her. I liked everything else about it.
She's so good
except
in
her.
everything.
Well, that and they killed off one of the main characters.
Did you
in the
not
first
like
10
her?
minutes.
Or did you not like her because she's such an awful person in this?
Oh, put it this way. If they cast her to be a bitch,
Yeah.
she had a hell of a performance.
Yeah. And and they did.
But I have not liked her since SNL back in the 80s.
All right.
I never watched Seinfeld. I think she's terrible in everything, but that's just me.
That is just you. I think
anyway.
that actually might be just
Might
you.
be just me, the only person in the whole world. But I'm fine with that. I couldn't stand her.
That's fine.
But yeah, despite her, I think all these characters they brought
I thought
together.
she was the best part of this.
And Red Guardian, every time he was on screen, I just freaking laughed. He was so much fun.
David Harbour had some good lines.
He had some good stuff. Actually, Bucky didn't have a lot to do though. He was kind of in the background, which is weird because he's like the new Captain America's buddy. And,
Yeah, but he's silent but deadly.
But no, I thought it was awesome. It was actually probably one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in the recent years that doesn't involve Deadpool or Wolverine.
All right.
So yeah, I definitely gave it a Mondo. I would go back and see it again. I mean, they kind of went a place I didn't know they were going to go.
Yep.
The whole thing about mental health and like people, who have a darker side and trying to, including Florence Pugh's character. It's
Pew
like,
pew.
yeah, so it kind of dealt with that, which you don't usually see in a superhero movie, dealing with a serious issue like that. Usually it's all, point and shoot and, flying around and destroying stuff. But,
There you go.
so I thought it was really good. I think it was a Mondo.
How handy is Jim's review? Because I don't really think he should get the last word.
Okay, then. I will drag it up. Okay. You're now hearing the voice of Jim.
This is Jim.
Pew Pew and Friends, a.k.a. Thunderbolts, a.k.a. the New Avengers, and Bob. Okay, let's face it. Lately, other than Deadpool vs. Wolverine, as I mentioned, the MCU has been a steaming pile of garbage. Or in other words, a rage fest or a ragey rage face.
Okay.
To be honest, I was not looking forward to this based on the past 4 or 5 years. Don't get me wrong. If I really took the time to break down some of the things in this and some of the problems, I could find issues with this new MCU outing. But here it is. Here's the big but. This is different. I mean, it's a superhero film, but as far as reintroduction to these characters, this was done brilliantly.
Wow.
I mean, I forgot who these people are because I don't watch MCU TV shows anymore. Mostly because I don't have any time. As previously mentioned, the movies have been garbage. Into this, though, the characters were so well defined and developed. There is darkness and humor and mental health confrontations pretty much from every single character. Where Disney MCU have been up till now made bad choices with some super woke fake stories and characters, this seemed natural and actually well thought of. Dynamics of how they come together and how the story progresses had me captivated, and at no point in this did I feel annoyed or bored or anything in the negative wheelhouse. I was on the edge of my seat to see how this is going to turn out. David Harbour is hilarious. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is her usual awesome self.
Yes, she is.
So there you go. In one man's opinion. Pew Pew.
Two, apparently.
Well, we haven't heard from you yet.
That's true.
Pew Pew and Friends was a great anti-hero superhero star. And I don't know that I've ever seen this before, but it's a superhero film that gave me moments of tears. So for that and how much of a fun ride this was, this is a Mondo.
Holy crap. Jim gave it a Mondo?
He did. Unpacked, yes, the annoying fake Russian accents did not annoy me so much this time because I was so into the characters. What say you, Bryce? He actually wrote that.
There you go. He probably predicted that I wanted the last word.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
All right, so yeah, you guys are talking about Florence Pugh and David Harbour and all this. I'm just going to tell you what I thought of the movie. And I'll give you a little rundown of what I kind of thought it was about. So the Avengers are gone, yet the world is still in need of heroes. But who can step up and protect the Earth from the inevitable onslaught of evildoers that are sure to be lining up as the Marvel Universe continues to drone on? Enter the Thunderbolts, a group of ragtag ne'er-do-wells that are thrust together initially to be eliminated, but if they learn to work together, they may be able to not only survive, but perhaps even turn out to be the heroes the world needs. It is very reminiscent of the Guardians of the Galaxy in that we get a group thrown together through necessity and not because they want anything to do with each other. And just like Guardians, that leads to personality clashes that are played for laughs. And just like Guardians, our group of misfits warm up to each other as they become less guarded, and eventually the mistrust fades and turns to a common goal, which in turn develops into a bond between the group, not unlike a family. It is kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy light, which isn't a bad thing. The laughs are still there. The emotion is still there, but it is all to a lesser degree when compared to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Still, I liked it. I like putting on an old familiar sweatshirt that I found in the bottom of a drawer. It is cozy and it's comfortable, but I didn't miss it. And I never would have found, and if I never would have found that sweatshirt, my life would not have been any worse. Still, this formula still seems to work for me, as completely unoriginal as it is. It is still funny and entertaining, so Thunderbolts was a superhero meh.
That's what I thought.
It was a retread.
Well, because you don't like superhero movies.
No, I'm fine with them. I always think they're meh. In fact, I like them more than Jim does.
Yeah, that's true.
But it just felt so familiar to me, Murray, and that's not a bad thing.
Well,
but it hit all the beats. It hit all the beats, but it just as I say, all I could think about through this whole thing is this is so Guardians. It really is.
And yeah, I was more in Suicide Squad. But
yeah, I guess. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, everybody was good in it. It was entertaining. It was fun. I had some pacing issues, but you know what?
You know what? I'm looking at my watch every 5 minutes. I did not even look at my watch. Like, it was at least half over.
Fair enough.
Because I was really intrigued by the story.
There you go.
And yeah, bad accidents aside, I mean, I don't have as much a problem as Jim does. I mean, yes, they were bad, but they're intentionally bad, I'm sure. Because they were from Russia. And even, what's her name? Julie Louis-Dreyfus has a Russian name.
She does.
So she's apparently from Russia too, but she somehow gets to the head of the CIA. I don't know how that happens, but whatever.
Because she's an American citizen.
This is definitely a pre-Trump era, I'm sure, because they would never hire a Russian now. Anyway, the accents.
I don't understand.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I guess the problem you probably would have is that these weren't new characters. Like, apart from Lewis Pullman, the rest were all characters you've seen other places.
Well, no, I could care less. I saw new characters.
With Guardians, the first one, you had never seen these before. It was all fresh.
Let's be honest. When I went into this, I mean, I barely remembered any of these guys. I mean, I didn't sit there and watch any of this stuff leading into this, trying to brush up.
Because Ant-Man was
I didn't remember Ghost.
Ant-Man was a terrible movie.
I barely remember Pew Pew because she's
and the Taskmaster. I'm like, who the hell is this? I'm like, oh yeah, the end of the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't make any connection.
She was like their mother or something, or she trained them or something. But
who knows?
Yeah. Spoiler alert: she didn't last long.
Yeah, I remember the only person I really recognized was the bogus Captain America guy. Because I watched
Did you watch
Falcon
the Winter Soldier one?
Winter Soldier.
I did too. Yeah, I didn't like the way that one went either. But
I thought that was okay. I've actually been okay with most of the MCU series.
Well,
to be honest,
I don't know if we should give a spoiler away, but I mean, well, I guess Jim already did. They're not Thunderbolts anymore.
Well, the spoilers in their advertising now. They've already
he said it in his review, so I'm not. He gave it away, but they're the new Avengers. The problem is The Falcon dude.
Well, that's
Sam Wilson.
That's
is
exactly
the
what's
official
gonna,
Captain America.
That's what's going to happen.
So
of course, he's going to have his own group, and they're going to be the
they're
Avengers
not actually
too.
the Avengers. They're getting sued by him, but yeah, the actual Avengers is like him, Doctor Strange, like Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
and a few other of those guys.
Yeah,
And Ant-Man.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. And of course, the Fantastic
That's
Four
the
showed up.
intrigue. That's why this is going to be. This is where they're
That's where they're
leaping
headed
off
because
on.
they're headed for the finale with Doctor Doom. So we'll see.
Doctor Doom. Is that where this? Is that where this is headed?
Yeah,
Doctor
because
Doom.
Robert Downey came out as after they killed him off as Iron Man. He showed up as Doctor Doom, who is the main villain of the Fantastic Four, which also comes out this week. Anyway, enough superhero crap.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, it's all you.
So, I went to Bonjour Tristesse, which I believe says is if you translate that, what is it? What does it translate to, Murray?
I don't know. Hello, darkness? I don't know.
Close. You're actually close.
Hello?
It's hello sadness.
Oh, I see. I was close.
You were close. I'm actually pretty impressed.
That's my 1/4 French coming out.
So, if you ever wanted to watch a film that takes place in France by the seaside, where bland characters interact in bland ways while playing solitaire and reading and laying on the beach and having dinner, all while having the most boring conversations imaginable, and eventually they make decisions that make no sense given the characters that have been presented, then this is the movie for you.
Wow. Sounds fantastic.
I know, right? Raymond is a recently widowed dude with a daughter. He is shacked up with Elsa for the summer. And she's like a free-spirited lady. The relationship is kind of hard to believe as Elsa is dynamic and Raymond, let's just say, is not. Cecile is Raymond's daughter, and while she is not playing cards with her father, she goes off canoodling with the neighbor boy. Then enter Anne, who is an old friend from Raymond's past. And I guess there is supposed to be some sort of spark between them, even though there is nothing presented that would have us believe that these two would ever get together. So Ray decides to go with Anne instead of Elsa, which makes no sense, because there's nothing that would lead you to believe this could happen. There is no conflict between the three, and Elsa just sort of moves on. Or so we think. But then daughter Cecile decides she wants Elsa back in her life as she doesn't like Anne. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe because Anne wanted her to do her homework. That's all I could come up with. It doesn't really matter at this point, as nothing in this film makes sense. So then the film really goes off the rails as Cecile thinks that if her father sees Elsa and the neighbor boy, so Elsa, this older lady, and the neighbor boy, who's probably about 18, her whole plan is to put them in a compromising position, then her father would want Elsa back. To which you might go, what? Why would Elsa agree to this, especially as she did not seem too broken up that the relationship ended in the first place? And you know, she's a grown woman, and staging something like that is completely juvenile. So I guess Cecile's plan works because Ray is now smitten with Elsa again. And of course, Anne goes for a walk and hears them on the beach making noises of two people that really like each other, if you know what I mean. Then Anne, Then Anne packs her things and leaves, and then a tragedy occurs, and the movie drones on for another 10 minutes, and then it mercifully ends. Nothing made sense. The motivations of the characters come out of nowhere with no reason for any action that anybody does. This is a convoluted mess of a movie. I hated it. It was agonizing to sit through this whole thing. It is such a rage. My God, Murr, this was awful.
See, that's the difference. I don't go to movies I know are going to be crap.
I thought it might be okay.
Because it had a French title?
No, well, no, because it had Chloe Sevigny in it. Yeah. It had Claes Bang in it. as much as I hated William Tell, that movie, he was actually pretty good, and I could see this guy as a leading man. He's actually he's okay. In fact, he's good. I shouldn't say he's okay. He's good. And even in this, I mean, he just had nothing to work with. He was fine. But man, this was a garbage movie. Just total garbage. Like, it's based on a French novel. And I don't know. I don't think that they did it justice at all, because
maybe they should have cast French people, and actually it should have been in French.
Maybe. I don't know what they needed to do, but they needed a rewrite for sure. And maybe it just needed to follow the book more closely. I'm not sure, because I haven't read the book, obviously. Well, not obviously. I mean, I'm a man of the world. I could have read a book.
I'm sure the book was better.
Anyways, this was total garbage.
All right, then.
Let's move on.
All right. Demon Hunters.
Yes. Holy Night Demon Hunters. Ho, 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 ho. All right.
Was Santa Claus in it?
No, Santa Claus was not in it. It's not Oh Holy Night, although that's really has nothing to do with Santa Claus either. That's true. That's true, I did. I should have ho-ho-hoed in the other movie with David Harbour.
You should have.
Anyways, Holy Night Demon Hunters. A devil-worshipping... I can't talk today, man. A devil-worshipping criminal empire is attempting to take over Korea, and the police can't handle it, dude. They just can't handle it.
They never can.
Who will they turn to?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No. The answer to that, my friends, is the Holy Night, a trio of demon hunters who all have their own specialty when it comes to battling the supernatural forces of hell. Don Lee stars as Ba Wu, who is a wrecking ball of a man that can punch the evil right out of you.
It's impressive.
It is impressive. Joining Ba Wu are Sharon, who can detect and exorcise demons by turning her eyes all white and looking really serious while placing her hand on your head. And then we have the third member, who is kind of the tech guy. He does computer stuff and films the altercations that the group has with all the evil devil worshippers and possessed folks and demons and whatnot. Can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the film is about a psychiatrist whose sister has been possessed and through a priest is introduced to the Holy Night. They need to get the evil out of little sis, which in turn just may save the world, Mur. There are some truly ridiculous choices made in this film with the editing, and especially a section where we watch recorded footage from surveillance cameras that have been magically edited together to stream uninterrupted as a dozen camera angles flip back and forth to produce a cohesive scene. I don't know why they did this. It just was this weird section in the middle, and it made no sense because there's no way that this, and it was like they clicked on a little PDF. Is that the right thing? A PDF file?
Sure.
A video file?
Sure.
Can they be video files?
PDF is not video. No.
Okay, a VDF?
Vimeo.
What is it?
Let's go Vimeo.
It's not Vimeo. It's like a little file, but it's a video file. They clicked on it, and all these things it's like they were all edited together, and they just ran continuously, even though it's like flipping between different security cameras. It's like, there's no way anybody did this, number one. And number two, it's stupid because it makes no sense. But you know what? Whatever.
Maybe the demons were in control of the TV set.
Maybe could they? Maybe that's what I missed.
Maybe.
But like seriously though, whatever. When it comes to Don Lee films, all we want to see is him throwing haymakers, my friend. And boy, does he ever. As mentioned, he punches evil right out of some folks. Like, he punches them, then boom, you can actually see the evil leaving their body. Wow. It was fantastic. In one scene, there's a guy standing on the other side of a door, and he punches him right through the door, and knocks him out. It was beautiful, my friend. Beautiful. Right through the door. Bam! He also punches through walls. At one point, they have to get through a locked entrance. And who needs a key when you can punch your way right through it? And Don Lee does. I should say Ba Wu does. It's spectacular, Murray. I am telling you, there's a lot in this film that I could have done without, but is undeniable that once Don Lee in any movie, and if you go back and watch all his movies, this is a staple. The man is just punching. It's so good. When Don Lee in any movie starts throwing his fists around, there is guaranteed joy to be had. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you hate subtitles. I don't care if you hate action movies. I don't care if it doesn't matter. Just watching this guy punch people is the most fun that you can have at the movies. Holy Night Demon Hunters was a hard-hitting meh.
I knew that was coming.
It was so much fun, but there were so many problems with it.
Story with the problems,
but it was so much fun. It was so much fun, but it was just mad.
Sometimes you just gotta let go and enjoy the fun.
Well, that's the whole thing. And if anything Don Lee's in, I'm just telling you right now, it's gonna be entertaining. It just is. It's almost like I don't even know what to say. He's just fun to watch. He's just fun to watch. He's in those Roundup movies. I don't know if you've
probably not.
Did you? Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen him.
Me and Jim
have
watched it. Yeah,
something, but
so he's called
like your basic action hero.
Yeah, so he's called Don Lee, but he's also goes by Mon Dong Seok. So in America, we know him by Don Lee.
Right.
If you happen to be watching this in Korea, though, you're like, who the hell is Don Lee?
Don Lee, yeah.
But it's Ma Dong Seok.
Gotcha.
And it's probably Mon Dong Suk. But he is so entertaining, man. You just need to let him start throwing haymakers.
Yet it wasn't a Mondo.
There were too many problems, but it was still fun.
All right, then. I guess that's it.
Not quite.
Not quite. I mean, that's it for the movie.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the Murman Minute, I hear.
That's right.
Ooh.
All right. You're probably not going to like this one, but
That's what you keep on telling me. You told me that before the podcast even started. It's like,
Well,
why are you setting me up like this?
Because it's a movie I know you probably didn't like.
Yeah, I probably didn't like.
I'm guessing.
All right.
Yeah,
Lay it on me, mister.
All right. Considering the recent horribleness and box office trash that was Snow White, I had a chance to rewatch Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, yeah.
It was on TV and I had nothing else to do.
It's not the worst.
I know you and Jim probably didn't like it.
Yeah.
If you compare it
I guarantee Jim hated it more
if
than
you
me.
compare it to the crappy Rachel Zegler Gal Gadot version, it's practically a masterpiece. First of all, we have Kristen Stewart. Sure, she probably can't sing. Who cares? She is still twice the actress that Rachel Zegler is, and not nearly as annoying.
Is this just going to be a bunch of Rachel Zegler venom?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, good.
I did that already.
All right.
Apart from her Twilight film, she has had some memorable performances.
That was memorable.
Snow White.
She was fantastic in Twilight.
Snow White, she's a girl who kicks ass and punches dicks.
Sure is.
She's not some whiny damsel in distress.
True
and she
that.
actually leads the army against the evil queen. Then kills her.
Yeah, she does.
Can't ask for more than that from Snow White. Then we have the Hemsworth.
Snow White ass kicker.
It's no secret I have a serious man crush on this dreamy Aussie. Much like Jim with his Chalamet and Bryce with his weird Ben Affleck obsession. We all have our crosses to bear. In this film, he fights and cries and saves Snow White from her eternal sleep with a smooch. I forgot that actually happened.
Huh.
Because there was a prince in this movie, but his mojo didn't work.
What?
But apparently, the huntsman was just the guy to get the job done.
I didn't even remember that part.
Yeah, I didn't either. I watched it again. It wasn't the prince, but the huntsman. And he kicked so much ass you would think it was a Thor film. Okay, yeah, the dwarves or little people weren't actually little people. That's one for the minus column. When you have actors like Ian McShane and Bob Hoskins,
Love them.
and Ray Winston and
Yes.
Nick Frost and Toby Jones
Such a good cast.
playing said dwarves, I'm willing to overlook it.
Yeah.
They did an excellent job and kicked some ass on their own. Plus, they were funny. There wasn't a happy or a dopey or a sneezy in sight. No whistling while they worked either. And they actually robbed people. Like, they weren't working in a mine. They weren't good guys. Definitely a plucky group I can admire. While I was watching this, I actually thought that Nicholas Hoult was the guy playing the prince, dude. Upon further examination, I figured out it was the dude from the last 2 Hunger Game movies. He looked just like Nicholas Hoult in this. I swear.
Really?
I thought it was him. Because it was done so long ago, maybe that was one of his first roles. But no, it was the Hunger Games, dude. It's uncanny how much it looked alike. Regardless, he did a good job, but he was definitely no Prince Charming. Finally, we have Oscar-winning actress Charlize Theron as the evil queen. I know, you don't like her either.
That's not true, man.
And now her film choices recently haven't been great.
That is true,
See
Murray.
the Fast and Furious franchise. But I thought she was seriously badass in this film and drop dead gorgeous as always.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
After watching this a second time, or maybe a third, I actually definitely thought it was a Mondo. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
Like I said, especially after seeing the latest Snow White.
I didn't dislike this movie. You always confuse me and Jim. Jim, I believe, hates this movie.
He probably does.
Yeah, but I always thought that this movie was
anyway. Yeah, on a Sunday night when I was waiting for hockey to start, it wasn't a bad way to kill some time.
fun. There you go. Ice hockey?
Ice hockey, the playoffs.
Are they in the playoffs? Are we talking about the National Hockey League?
The National Hockey
Does our
League.
local ice hockey squad, the Calgary Flames, are they in it?
Our local team sucks, so no, they're not. But
Oh.
a team a little bit north of here is in it.
The Edmonton Oilers?
Yes, playing against the team I really like.
Who's that?
The ones from Vegas.
The Las Vegas
Golden Knights.
Golden Knights.
Golden Knights. I love me some Knights.
All right.
Anyway, and that was a good game too. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of hockey, but
There's
it's
your,
the playoffs. But
There's your hockey corner.
there's your hockey corner. This has been Don Cherry.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
I got to get right into my rage this
That's
time.
right.
Usually I've got time because Jim yammers on
He
for
does
about 10
yammer on.
minutes.
He didn't even send me a rage, so
I tell you. All right, well, here's my rage this week. My rage this week is folks that arrive late to a movie and cause a disturbance.
yes, thank you.
I understand that sometimes you may arrive late for a film. It happens. But if it does happen, do not enter a crowded screening and start shining your walking around phone light everywhere, trying to find the perfect seat. Do not start down the aisle, then stop obstructing the screen.
Because you had the wrong row.
Do not start whispering to your friends to see if they see any seats. It is dark. They see the exact same thing as you. Nothing. If you are late, you have now lost the privilege of picking your seat. If you are late, here is what you do. As fast as possible, you go to the front row and sit down. This is the most likely place you will find a seat without disrupting the film. You don't talk, you don't shine a light everywhere, and you do not stop moving. Period. That is my rage.
Well, I have to agree with you. It's extremely annoying. As I said before, in the world of theater, live action plays,
Yes.
if you don't get there before the movie
You're out of
starts,
luck.
you have to sit on the lobby.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Come in and
wouldn't even let Spider-Man in
Yeah.
because he was late.
There you go.
Remember that? He had to sit outside.
That's the way it goes, man.
So Bruce Campbell said, "I'm sorry, buddy, you're late. You can't get in."
Yeah.
That's what they should do with movies. Once those doors have closed, that's it. You're done.
Yeah. As I say, that's never going to happen.
No,
but
because they paid their money. But
If it does happen, though, you know what? Just go to the front row. Just walk quickly
Yeah.
all the way to the front row. Don't sit. I had someone stand beside me, munching on his popcorn in my ear for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, dude, just sit
Find a
down
seat,
somewhere. And there's always stuff at the front row. I'm sorry.
Well, there's always
you've literally lost
yeah.
your privilege to pick your seat.
very
now.
seldom is it ever sold out. There's always seats available.
Yeah. So you just truck
If somebody
it to the
else
front.
sat in your seat, too damn bad.
Yeah, and don't stop. My God, once you start moving, just keep on moving. You don't stop and stand there. Because inevitably, you know where you're going to stop? Right in my line of sight.
Right in front of you.
I had people stopping. It's a bloody subtitled movie. I don't even know what's going on because I don't understand frickin' you Czechoslovakian or whatever it is. I guess it's not Czechoslovakian. I don't know what movie I was watching.
You're the Korean movie, wasn't
There's
it?
a Korean movie. There was a...
But the French one wasn't in French.
There was a French movie that wasn't in French. There was...
I guess there was a little bit of Russian in Thunderbolts, but...
Yeah, there was a little bit of Russian in Thunderbolts. But no, this is actually more going back to the festival, to be honest.
Well, yeah, the same thing with the festival. Well, yeah, because you sit at the back row.
Yeah, I get totally screwed.
Which
when
is
people,
like 10 feet from the door.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
It's
because
super not cool,
because even
man.
halfway through the movie, they're still trying to find seats.
Don't even get me started on
or else
people
they get
just
up.
coming
They
in and
get
out.
up 5
in
times
and
to
out.
go for beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know how to act in theaters anymore.
It's the truth.
They're all pigs.
Pigs.
Classless pigs.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Well, that's it already.
That's it. Yeah. So next week we're gonna have Rage Your Dare back, I think.
Jim said he's going to be back for next week.
Yeah, so Rage Your Dare is definitely back next week, and I'm going to try to come up with something for the list. We haven't really done anything for the lists in a while. We're definitely doing Rage Your Dare next week because I was dared to watch. I can't even remember what it was called, but
so long ago I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up so I actually watch it. But yeah, so next week we're going to be back to normal. In fact, I think we're going to be completely back to normal next week. It's been a weird few weeks
Are
with
we
the
ever
festivals
completely normal though?
and Jim freaking no, we're not. And Jim absolutely just flaking on us. I mean, come on. There's no reason why you just can't phone in, you jerk.
Or you go on vacation on Thursday and you come back on Tuesday.
Exactly. You know when the podcast is.
Yeah.
It's not like we move it around, you jackass. Anyways, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find them on all of our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer. For the voice of Rage or Dare, find us on SM. What's that, Mur?
Social media.
The social medias. Find us on the social medias everywhere at Film Rage YYC.
That is correct.
Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, 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 pretty, please, please, please. That's it for this week.
A lot of pleases.
It's so much please. We're not
desperate at all.
We're not desperate at all. We're begging for it at this point. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage.
Yeah, buddy.